Liverpool FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips, and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well.
Thought man them would be ready. I thought I was the only one going to be late. Thought man them would be ready.
But you're not connected to Wi-Fi, was it? Alright, let's go.
You know what? Yeah, alright, cool.
Sensational.
Me and you today. Alright, okay. Here we are back once again. It's the Anfield South boys back in your eardrums on your YouTube channels and all of that. It's your boy Slim, your host with the most, as I like to call myself. Goons, introduce yourselves.
Yo, Sam's back again.
Good evening, it's Paul.
Lee, aka Bayesian Bruce.
And Waz is in the building.
Good to see you boys. Oi, just quick divert quickly. Waz has got the hat on today. You know what? And just because people might not have seen Endgame, I'm not going to say nothing, but you know what? Respect for the hat, Waz. You know
exactly,
why.
Exactly. You know what? Everyone knows I'm Team Cap. I got to represent the hat.
Yeah, because I'm Team Iron Man, so you get me? You know what I'm saying? So,
that hat's not a spoiler. You can still go and watch the film.
Oh, yeah, don't mean that.
No spoiler. Anyway, man, let's get on to business because we've got a few games to cover, man. Let's go back to the Champions League game that we played against Porto. Final score was 4-1. Let me just refresh memories with the lineup. We started with Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the midfield three was Fabinho, Milner and Wijnaldum. It was Salah, Mane and Origi that started that game. Good game by all accounts, you know what I mean? Well, by judging by the result, it was a good game, man. Has anyone got anything they want to say about that game? Because for me it was just run of the mill. I'll be honest with you, I was expecting a good result. We got a good result.
I think the key moment in the game, probably I'll go for a moment actually. You expect Porto to come out and storm you because obviously, you know, it's there for them to chase. And I felt they did come at us, but it weren't nothing. It was powder puff really.
Yeah, they did have a few chances, but
things can happen. I've seen stranger things happen, and if they get a goal, they get the wind behind them, they get the crowd behind them, but it was light work in the end. Once the goal went in, bam! It was just. To be fair, I'll be honest. I shouldn't really say things like this, but there was a more interesting game going on the other side.
Shout out to James. Shout out to James who don't like to watch his own team.
I reckon a lot of Liverpool fans that day had an eye on the Man City Tottenham game in the Champions League, and it was quite a good game. To be fair, I had both games on at the same time.
That's what I done.
Yeah, I was watching the Liverpool game on its own, and then I watched a little bit at the end of the Tottenham game. But I thought it was actually a good example of our good defending this season. Was that they actually had a few chances to have a chance? Do you know what I mean? Or to have a good clear shot, for example. But the way we defend these days, all the headers they had were challenged. Do you know what I mean? Anytime the guy was, who was the tall striker?
No, it was the big.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, but he was running. You know.
Well, he had that chance where he swiveled and he mishit it, and it was like an easy save for Alisson. I think a better striker, clearly, obviously, a better striker finishes that. I mean, when I say a better striker, I mean we face Barcelona next round. You give that kind of chance to Suarez. Do you know what I mean? Or Messi in the box. It's finished, but. We're going to concede chances in a game. I mean, as good as we are, we're not impermeable to any chances. So we're going to concede chances in a game. It's just obviously how we react to those if we go behind and stuff like that. So
and we started quite sloppy, how we have done in Champions League away games or big games, because every Champions League game in knockout is a big game. With our passing, etc. But once, was it Mane scored the first goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Back to VAR.
Yeah, back to VAR.
As much as I hate VAR.
It went to VAR was in our favour there.
Yeah,
to
that
be
calmed
fair.
us down a little bit. We were still sloppy after that. It's there's something there, like where that's what infuriates me the most is like when we're sloppy in possession. But second half, Firmino came on. Someone just said run in the mill and easy and dominant. Do
you know what it was? There was an inevitability to the game. I wasn't stressed. I wasn't actually fully engaged in the game, which is weird because we're getting to that crunch time in the season. But it's like we knew the goals were coming, and once we weathered that early storm, like you said, it was like, okay, well, we're gonna win, aren't we? We're gonna win, but we still have to watch it to engage to realise that we need to see the result to the end. But it was always coming. So I don't want to be arrogant about it, but we knew we were gonna go through. But we just didn't want to say that before the game had been played.
Yeah, that. Like I said, that's how I felt.
I would say that, take things out of it, Henderson came on, didn't he? And this was after the game where we beat Tottenham. Was it?
Why would you say Tottenham, man? That was like ages ago.
What game did we play before?
What fixtures?
When Henderson had a stormer.
Southampton.
Southampton, yeah. So he came on as a sub, and again he came with impetus, and he whipped that ball into Firmino.
Yeah, Firmino.
And I was saying to Sam in the car on the way up here, I don't know if anyone remembers on the people watching, when, especially last season, the ball would come back to Henderson in the inside right channel, and he swings this deep ball that goes off for corners. Now they're going on people's heads. Like that was another example of his form and of his new form and his great form. And I was like, hey, that's really good.
Yeah,
and Van Dijk scored again as well.
Yeah, scored.
I think that's the one thing which this season I'm happy about. That it's just not the front three. Everyone is now chipping in. Granted, the midfield could do probably a little bit more, but defence, everyone's like for assists and getting goals.
I would say the midfield hadn't chipped in for a little while, and I think at the crunch end of the season they've stepped up to the plate. I think that personally, I think the midfield could have done more sooner. Especially those tight games that we've had throughout the season in the Premier League. I think they could have done more sooner, but this is the business end when you think about it. Do you know what I mean? Title race, semi-finals of the Champions League. So if they're stepping up now, fair enough, and it's better late than never, as they say. So yeah, overall, good game against Porto, expected. Just quickly, Barcelona in the next round. We go away to the new camp. We are now recording on Sunday. We go away to the new camp in 3 days' time on a Wednesday. What do you think, man? Quickly.
Well, I've always thought we'd win in Champions League. Ever since we got through, I've been consistent.
You've been consistent in that.
So I'm not going to change that now. I have watched Barca this season, and although some people think they're not as strong, well, they're not as strong as before, obviously, I still rate them. I still rate them in the new camp as well. And Messi has been brilliant this season, but I think we've got more than enough to beat them.
What do you think, Sam, we need going to the Camp Nou? What do you think we need to come away with?
We have to score. I don't actually think we're going to lose. So realistically, a score draw I will take all day. But I've been begging for this game for about 2 years now. We actually need to test ourselves against a Barcelona type team on that massive pitch to see how far we've come.
It's 4 meters longer than most pitches. So.
Yeah, and that's going to play a part in the lineup as well in terms of the engines that we need. So it's not all going to be about flair. It's not going to be about that. It's going to be about who can actually run for those 90, 95 minutes.
Do you see a Brexit midfield coming?
100%. 100%. We know Winnie's starting because he came off.
Just for those that don't know, the Brexit midfield is the midfield we call of Henderson, Milner and Wijnaldum. We call that the Brexit midfield.
Listen, as much as Fabinho should be a mainstay at 6, as much as Kate has come into form, I'll be shocked. I'll be totally shocked if it ain't that midfield that plays, because he's going to want that stability. He wants legs, and he's not going to want any flair there. He's going to leave it up to the front three to play on the break. And to be fair, I back it this time, because
what? I back
the Brexit midfield.
Axis of evil.
Whatever you want to call it, bro. I back it for this game. Don't get me wrong, it's not what I want, but I would back
if you want to back that, then you can say goodbye to Champions League, in my opinion.
Well, how many times have we said that and he's played it and we're here?
So let me ask you, Paul.
Yeah, that's the league.
So Paul, you think we need to go to the Camp Nou and attack?
Yeah, we've got to score a goal. Plus, we could be controlled. Like, this is the misconceptions we're getting, and this is what this is done. This is why sometimes I was thinking I'm not even going to come today, because how can I cuss a man like Klopp, who's taken us to our most points nearly ever? But there's an issue with this. This is safe. He's going to play a trusted team. It's not trusted. Do you know what I mean? That midfield is not trusted by me. I'll go and get you fucking stats, that show I've got a lower win ratio when those 3 start. Why would you do this? Do you know what I mean? He's not going to do it anyway, but why would you do this? Do you know what I mean?
Think he's going to do it?
No, I mean I would settle for Fabinho, Henderson, and I guess a Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I would or just at least Fabinho. Do you know what I mean? Because I remember moaning about the Everton game and United game when Henderson played in the 8 for the first time this season. Do you know what I mean? I moaned after because I was like, maybe he could do it. It didn't work out, and he done it again against Everton. It didn't work out against United. And I was thinking, there's no balance there. I admit I was wrong. Now Henderson's doing well in the number 8, but I think one of the reasons why he's doing it is because Keita's alongside him. you've got a real balance there. Do you know what I mean? When you play Henderson, Milner, and Wijnaldum, it's just we don't create any chances.
But you know what though, yeah, Lee? Like Sam's saying, yeah, the picture in the Camp Nou's bigger. Yeah, we're going to need legs. Do you feel a midfield of Fabinho, Keita, Henderson has enough legs to cover the ground defensively?
Well, yeah, no, personally, I'm going with Sam. Because what Sam's saying, to me, I know what you're saying, but for me, that's what I would go with. Purely for the fact that I know them guys, Hendo and Milli Vanilli will run for a wall for you, 100%.
This is actually, this is crazy.
It's
right?
not
This is
crazy.
crazy. These guys, listeners, viewers, these two guys will say, Wijnaldum went missing again in an away match. Why would you pick him in another away match?
Paul, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I want to pick him. I'm saying I back that choice if Klopp
Why
makes
are
it.
you backing that choice?
Because in terms of legs and stability, that's what he trusts and that's what he goes for in these games.
Yeah, but he's wrong.
Whoa.
How can you say he's wrong?
What do you do for a living again? How many clubs have you managed?
I'm a professional
armchair supporter.
Joking aside. All right. I'll try and be as. I'll try and bring some evidence then.
No, you know what? Your evidence is quite long, and I'm trying to.
I'll be quick.
I'm gonna shuffle this. I want to shuffle this on. You got
5
a minute,
seconds.
bruv.
Keita made for me more tackles and blocks the other night than Wijnaldum's done in 6 away games.
Fact. Okay, granted. Well,
But on a pitch,
that's enough.
On a
So
pitch,
we're doing one place.
on a pitch that's 4 meters longer.
Okay, I'll do another one then. When you've got a massive pitch and you've got Busquets, one of the best anchormen of all time, yeah, and he's going wrong side of 30, I want someone who's going to do one step over and burst through. I would want Ox on the pitch because we've seen Mane, Salah and Firmino look like wooden horses against United and Everton away. That's the only 2 games that's annoyed me this season, really. And I feel that we put too much pressure on those games. Like Mane's not going to take on 4 players and score. Salah's not going to take on 4 players and score. They need to have service. And we're talking about our wingers as well. We need players who are going to get on the ball, our fullbacks, get on the ball and play those balls in the inside channel for Robertson and Trent to cross those balls in. You have to score in the Nou Camp. You have to take control.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Opinion noted. Right. So moving on. Obviously, after the Porto game, we had Cardiff, which looked like a bit of a sticky one on paper because Cardiff are fighting for their survival, and we were away. And as the game proved, well, we finally won the game 2-0. But as the game proved, it took a bit of guile and craft from our players to break the deadlock. Excellent cross coming in from Trent and fantastic finish from Gini Wijnaldum. Like whether you love him or hate him, it was a great finish.
Beautiful finish.
Let's talk about that game quickly, because I was gonna say how did we finally break down Cardiff? But you know what? I think it's very well documented that the players actually spoke at half time about Cardiff's defending from corners and decided to go for that corner. And there was a quote from Klopp after the game that I really loved. He said, the boys are now learning in game and now obviously adapting in game. And I think that is absolutely amazing. I think as footballers, if you can learn in game, then there's not many games that teams are going to style for you, because you're going to find a way. All right, they're doing that when we do this, so we're going to do that. And I thought that just made me proud of the boys that day. Please talk anyone else before you jump in on that game. Right,
well, I'll say quickly, just to follow on from what you're saying, that those windows though are very small as well. So you see obviously where they've done that from that corner. Had that not have worked, Cardiff themselves would have gone, "Oi lads, the next corner, you got to watch out for that." So that window goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got to be, and that's what I thought was clinical. That's how the it's all about inches. That little bit of thing, and we took that in that game. Just following on from that. That's well put there.
Well, you saw how important that goal was, where Henderson ran straight to Trent and celebrated with him. They didn't want to follow through after.
And you could see what it meant to Gini as well in his celebrations as well, because it's all well documented. He doesn't score many away goals, does he?
Well, he doesn't play many away games. Let's be honest. He goes missing, as you said, for most away games, and that's not even a dub. It's a fact. But for me, like, that was almost like a coming of age performance for him as a Liverpool player away from home, because players can do it at Anfield. They've got the crowd behind them. You know what I mean? But to do it in a big away game when we really needed a breakthrough, like,
when it was tough. Yeah.
To be fair, I thought he's, as you say, coming of age. Was the Tottenham game away?
I thought that.
Yeah.
I was at that game. I thought that. But then he disappeared again. And I was like, and at that point, it didn't matter as much as it does now. So I'm like, yeah, I'd like him to kick on from that. And I do think he's going to start on Wednesday. And I'm looking tentatively for something from him on Wednesday, whether it be he tackles somebody or, you know, something that is different from his normal away performances. I want to see an improvement from him, because I think he's set himself a platform now where he can actually improve away from home and stop being that guy that hides from the ball.
But Ronaldo's bizarre we've seen him for Holland at number 8. He's just like silky, scoring goals, etc. When he plays well for us in away games, he's playing in that 6. He played 6 against Tottenham, I believe. I think he did. He definitely played as number 6 against Cardiff. And I think when he gets on the ball and he has to take responsibility and get on the ball, it suits him. Do you know what I mean? It's when he's having to... It's like he's caught in between going forward and tracking back. And that's when he sort of goes missing. And to add to my thoughts on the Cardiff game, since the Tottenham game, I've just felt we're going to win every game. I'm not nervous at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, at half time in the Cardiff game, I was not worried. I was just chilled.
Well, we actually played pretty well in the Cardiff game. I think we just didn't take our chances.
Yeah.
I mean, Firmino missed a glaring opportunity, didn't he? But I felt we were in control of that game.
Also, with that point, I need to give a shout out to Matip as well.
Oh, he had a great game that game, didn't he?
The last couple of games with the Costa Curta type run, he's in confidence. I can't knock him. Everyone's stepping up.
Yeah.
Now.
He had a great game.
Do you think that we kind of have that kind of calm nature as fans now because of the way we play, and that we're so controlled and we're not so gung-ho, and that we know that a chance is gonna come? Even at half time, when it was 0-0, I wasn't stressed at all.
I don't get stressed. I refuse to get stressed.
Come.
I'm not sure all fans have this approach at the moment. I think some fans are still quite panicky when it's 0-0 and stuff like that.
Are you referring to any people in the Anfield South? What's that group?
I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to name any names, but I feel like people still do panic. But obviously, this is funny because the season's coming to a close. But the more the season's gone on, the more confident I felt. I'm starting to feel like we're on par with City. When I watch Man City play, I feel like they're always going to score, and they look like they believe they was going to score. And I feel like that's the same confidence that our boys are showing us. So I'm less and less worried as every game goes on. I'm almost sad that there's no more games.
It's quite a nice feeling to have as a fan, though, isn't it? To have that kind of calm peace of mind that, you know, you're not stressing out about it too much.
100%. 100%. I want to touch on this quickly because we've got a lot of things to go through, but I don't think it's going to be a quick thing. So the second goal in the Cardiff game, obviously... He did not even let me finish my sentence, and he clocked onto it, people. Yeah, let's get into it. Come on. So obviously, Salah wins the penalty. People tried to make out like it was a dive. Do you know what? I'm just going to brush it over quickly. It might have been a little bit of a dive, but you can't put your hands on a man like that in the box and not expect him to go down. I don't care. If Matip, Lovren, VVD done any of that, I'd be cussing because they should not have their hands on him. So let's just banish that. Yeah, it was penalty all day for me. Then there was a little fracas between Salah and Milner about who was going to take the penalty, because obviously Milner had come on as a sub, so I think maybe Salah was the penalty taker while he was off the pitch, but obviously Milner's the penalty taker when he's on the pitch. And apparently someone put a video in the Anfield South group. Was it Anfield South group? Well, in one of our
podcast for tonight.
Well, in the podcast group tonight of Salah not celebrating with Milner. Apparently, I didn't watch it because I was driving back from all the Towers, people. But so the general consensus is that Salah himself is very selfish and it's all about his own personal goals. Now, before you boys lay into it, because I think I'm the only person on Salah's side, I don't think Salah's selfish.
Leo as well. Shout out to Leo.
Well, shouts to Leo because Leo's in my corner as well.
Yeah.
I don't think Salah's selfish. I think he wants to be the top of his game. He wants to be the best he can be. He wants to score as many goals as possible. He wants that golden boot. And whilst a lot of people might say personal goals are nothing compared to the team goals, I understand that. If that's what drives Salah forward to score the goals that ultimately achieves the team goals, then I'm happy for it. But other people think differently. Sam thinks he's selfish. Now, you let people know why you think he's selfish.
Listen, I said it about 2 podcasts ago. after, what was it, the own goal that he forced against Spurs.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy, there's something that's not right with him in terms of his mentality, in terms of being overly about me. And I put it to the side. I thought, you know what, at the moment, and throughout the whole season, it hasn't really been to the detriment of the team. But I'm a bit uneasy about a chance coming where he can lay someone on for a sweaty and he goes to bend it top corner. He always seems to have that single-minded striker mentality, which he should have. Yeah, but I think he needs to be aware that he's not the only guy that can score a goal for the team. And ultimately, I feel like it might cost us at some point. This is why it's winding me up. Because for now, Mane's on par with him. They're having their little battle. Firmino's playing the role that supports both of them and is the most important of the three, in my opinion, by far. But Salah just... There's something about his demeanour and the way he is. And when I saw that video, I saw it live when I was watching the game. And I was like, bro, where's Salah? There's a big bundle there. We scored the winning goal. We're going to go top again. Where's Salah? Why aren't you celebrating? Get over yourself for a minute. Yeah, forget about you didn't score the penalty, so you're not top scorer today. Yeah, the goals will come. But he didn't celebrate. And I'm like, where's the team spirit in there? Get over yourself, man. Get over yourself. And I know he's a striker. Well, he's not a striker. I know he's a forward. And I know he wants to score as many goals as he can. But I don't like that. And it's endemic and it's contagious.
Wow,
yeah.
Endemic. Wow, someone get the dictionary.
It's contagious because you watch Mane now, and they did a little. We spoke about it before. They did a little focus on Match of the Day about how now they're not automatically passing to each other, and when they've got the opportunity to, they're looking straight ahead, and they know the pass is there, but they're not actually trying to look for each other, and that might be partially their little battle to get the golden boot. Or it might be the fact to be like, oh, well, you know what, fuck you. You didn't lay me in last time, so I'm not laying you in this time. And I hate that. I hate that. So I'm just like, I'm just a bit concerned that it might cost us at some point. That's all. But
selfish.
Yeah, he's selfish.
Selfish or driven, Leroy?
Boy, I think it's a bit of selfishness, you know. I think it's a bit selfish. But I was gonna say, I did notice I can't remember what game it was though, and I felt that. Salah had actually I thought he kind of got over this thing because I felt some of the passes he was hitting back Mane with was like they had more legs on them. I don't know if you guys ever noticed. I felt when Mane used to pass it to him, with conviction, like conviction, like. But my man would pass it to him and it'd be dead, and it's like, but it'd be like I did pass it though. Yeah. But now it's like it's making it now. Like you get what I'm saying? But then I don't know. Now they're on this. I just hope. Everything that Sam's saying
doesn't come true.
Yeah,
I'm just worried about it.
That would be a nightmare. But for me, it's a bit worrying when you see a striker doing that because there's other strikers out there in the past that, all right, for example, Suarez. Yeah, Suarez was a goal scorer. I'm not a gambling man, but that season he had for us was unbelievable. I'd always go for him. Suarez to score, Liverpool to win, and I'd always get something. Yeah, Gerrard was a penalty taker. All right, Gerrard's a big character, but you never ever saw him ever get on that whole high horse of like, I'm looking to take a penalty. He barely took. I think he took a couple free kicks for us. I think he scored a few. But he wasn't that guy. He was all about, first and foremost, it's about the team, and that's why he fits at Barca. Because when you're there, you got to be on that. I could score here, but this guy's definitely going to score, so I'm going to square it. And we don't have that with him sometimes. He'll go for that shot when it's a bit narrow. It's a bit. Why don't you just pass it square? So that's what's worrying for me.
Lee, that's where you go.
Wazza, Salah, good selfish or bad selfish?
I would have to say bad selfish. I have to. And you know what? Last season, I was all praise for him. This season, I still am. But as everyone just pointed out, the last few weeks, you're seeing the little, the complaining, the not really putting... What's the word I'm using? Conviction. And then being Mr. Time, top 100 this week, flying to America. I'm saying he's living a playboy lifestyle, but is this success building in his head? Does he think he's getting bigger than the team?
Let's be honest here. When he leaves, he'll be at that point of when he leaves. Yeah, because another season of this, the Real Madrid thing will come up again. Yeah, that's when he'll be at the height of his ego, because. Like you said, what you mentioned about him being the king of Egypt, and this person, this persona that was bigger than just a great footballer, a world-class footballer. He was a status figure, and when that happens, cool. We can go with our blessing if we won the league and Champions League, cool. But I don't like it happening now because he's grown above his station. We bought him and we rescued him. And a lot of people weren't convinced we should even sign him.
Yeah.
Like Battersea Dog's home.
I know.
Well, you got to remember, originally Klopp wanted Brandit first. It was the scouting team that told him to get
He
Salah.
wasn't our first choice. Can you imagine?
Right.
You looking for that signal?
Yeah.
You can speak now.
Yeah. First, tactically, what Leroy said about.
You're a proper tactician.
Wait, quickly.
I have to call Paul, aka tactician.
Go on.
Go on,
Couple
man.
minutes.
Go on.
First, tactically, what Lee said when we were saying when Suarez had it. When you play at the top of the pack in a 4-4-2 or like, you know, you're playing off someone on a 4-3-3, fine. Yeah. Most of the time, the ball goes up, you're going to be alone. I want my striker to hit 6, 7, 8 shots a game, right? Suarez did. Torres, my God. Do you know what I mean? By the time bad ball Benayoun caught up with him, it's like too late. Boom. Or if he misses it, he has to have a shot, right? So that's out the way tactically. Salah and Mane, they're inside forwards. When they come inside, they're gonna see two people. They're gonna see Firmino and Mane. They might even see a Robertson or a Trent. They do have the opportunity to pass in, right? And we're spoiled as Liverpool fans. Klopp is the best attacking coach in the world, easily.
You said that before.
He is, because he creates these patterns of play and systems they must work on, and it's like clockwork now. And before last season, you know, you can still shoot, but Salah would make it easy for himself. He'll play 1-2 with Firmino. Now you're free to shoot. But now he comes inside and, okay, shoot, okay, good defending. What now? You know, lay it back to the midfielders. Nah, I'll twist and turn. He plays like when you got kids and your kids do football training and they say only Slim can score now. To make it, he's like, only Slim, what? Is that the rules of play now? Is he Magic Man? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not cricket, man. It's not right. But for the record, he's amazing. Right, this is just a podcast. We need to talk about things. I'm a geek with football. I'll talk about lots of it. This is something I've noticed. Yeah,
Follow him on Twitter and Instagram. Football Geek 123.
I'm still like Team Salah. Do you know what I mean? For me, it is a bit of an issue. I mean, it's something to like. Maybe we should be talking about in the summer. Like when you look at sort of signals and stuff, or is there any issues? Like you have a penalty. You know Milner takes them. Maybe Salah was designated because Milner was on the bench. He's on now. He's had to nearly, you know, it's getting physical there. Do you know what I mean? He's had to tuck it away. Okay, he's buried it, and you're still thinking about it. I don't mind Salah trying to say take it. Milner might have said take it, and if we're 6-0 up, Firmino scored a goal, the hat-trick against Arsenal.
Let him have it,
Let him have it.
So all of you say selfish Salah. Okay, so then...
No, I will say selfish/driven.
Okay.
And which is not a bad thing.
So we move on to the Huddersfield game. We win that game. What was that? What was that 4-0? 5-0. It was 5-0. 15 seconds into the game, Keita closes down the ball, falls to Salah. Salah's in front of goal. He squares it to Naby. Naby scores an easy goal.
No one. This is the thing.
I'm just saying just other side of the coin.
I said I'm Team Salah. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not. It's not a personal
attack. Team Liverpool, please.
No, but also
let's not
I
get
get what you
involved
mean.
in.
I get what you mean by Team
Salah.
Salah. But for the purpose of this argument, I'm saying in that situation, he would have been in every right to have a shot. No,
that's the point, because Keita was obviously through, like this,
and asking for the ball, and he's clean on goal.
Yeah, he's clean on goal, and he gave him the ball, and it's perfect.
He had no right to have the shot, and he passes it. So then that doesn't back the argument of selfish Salah, does it?
That's one time in a game.
Yeah,
there was 3 other opportunities when he could have played Mane through. So
by that time the score was,
I don't know, 3 or 4.
4-0.
4, because that's when
4-0.
Yeah, but Slim.
I'd just like to say, goal difference, if you can get the goal still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It still does.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
So to counteract what you just said about goal difference, Klopp came out and said he's not worried about goal difference. Klopp has said 1-0, 4-0, basically 3 points is the goal. So goal difference is not an issue. And how many times have we said before between us, whether it be on here, in the WhatsApp groups, that if your strikers are going to try some stuff, if it's 3 or 4-0, that's when you want them to try some stuff. Right. So if he's going to be greedy and he's greedy at 4-0, so what? So
I didn't think that last shot he had where he twisted and turned, it was the worst thing in the world. Like you said, it was entitled. We're just talking about, because I think we're all like enjoying football. Everyone's becoming quite knowledgeable of football, and there's obviously situations where Mane's the same, I think. Do you know what I mean? Mane's improved. They've both improved, but I've seen Mane. It was Everton at Goodison Park. Salah's breaking forward, and Mane's looked to me like he's literally deliberately delaying his pass through to him. Do you know what I mean? I said it in the podcast in my yard. Do you know what I mean? That these two are not passing to each other. What's going on? What's the deal? Do you know what I mean?
So these boys aren't passing to each other, but we have Mo on 21 goals in the league and Mane on 20 goals in the league.
Slim. Let's look.
What you said there, it's something. Yeah.
What's it called? In Robbo's interview, he said he hadn't set Salah up since the beginning of the season. Yeah. And so I would like to know the stats as to who's been setting him up, because if it's Mane, that's interesting. Because obviously our main assist guys are the fullbacks.
Big trend, isn't it?
But Robbo hasn't set him up since the fourth game of the season. Amazingly. So who is laying all these goals on for Mo then?
Guys, if you're out there and you know these stats, please feel free to drop us a line on our,
we could play
on
devil's
our
advocate
Instagram,
for Mane and Salah, yeah? We could play devil's advocate. When we were complaining about not having enough creativity, that they might have to do a bit more. So maybe both of them have got a bit used to doing that bit more to get a shot off. Because that goal Salah scored last season, against Huddersfield, was similar to one he scored near the end of last season, where there was a stat where he scored like 10 goals in the 6-yard box. Do you know what I mean? That means he's part of that's that Klopp, pattern to play. He's part of something that's like clockwork, and he gets into the box and he gets to tapping. Do you know what I mean? But what we're saying is, the Cardiff game was when when Firmino had that chance, when he flicked it over. That was Salah, Mane, Firmino. That was one of the first times this season I feel they've been as a grouping. Do you know what I mean? And it's created a chance or a goal. It's no major issue. But it is a talking point, because you can be perfect. You can strive for perfection if you want. Do you know what I mean? And when the shot's not on, pass it.
Yeah.
That will have to come into play come Wednesday, though. They have to. I mean, let's face it, Barca game at this point in time, it is going to be a big game. It's going to be attacking. It's going to be end to end. Those three have to gel together. Well, that's questioning if Firmino's fit.
Yeah, because he's a bit of a doubt.
How worried about it?
If Firmino isn't fit, I think they've got the tendency to be more greedy, because they're not getting as much interplay with their central striker. Whether it be Sturridge, whether it be Origi, they haven't got the ability to do what Firms does. So that's a massive thing. I think if the three of them play, then I think they'll pass to each other consistently throughout the game, because they know they have to.
It's going to have to be a quick pass movement to get in behind Barca. Okay, but just to bring it back, we have what I was going to say before you boys nearly lynched me. You know what I mean? We have Mo at 21. We have Mane on 20 goals this season. Sam sort of touched on it. Do we think this is a friendly rivalry, or is them trying to outdo each other?
I think it's friendly enough. I mean, lately, like when you look at body language, for me, the body language is better. Like the Cardiff game, the Tottenham game, I thought they linked up well. Mane was finding him a lot.
You love that Tottenham game, boy.
No, he was coming in.
That's about 3 times you referred to that Tottenham game.
Sort of like flicking out left. Salah found by Mane and Bayern in Bayern in Germany. It's better. It's just we're just looking for little perfection bits. I think it's more they're trying to outdo each other in a friendly, driven way. But I don't think they want the other to fail.
No. If it's unfriendly, Leroy, but it drives the team forward, are you happy to see it continue in an unfriendly vein? Sorry, manner.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If it's been a benefit of the side and it's working for us, then yeah. But those things can always go sour though. I don't know how long you can keep that running like that for.
Do you know? It reminds me of Suarez and Studs.
I was about to
That weren't friendly.
Mad.
They were really trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
But it worked for the team.
It worked for the team. Well, did it?
Well, it kind of did until that.
It did on that end of the pitch, because we scored how many goals that season, but the rest of it, no, didn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
But do you know what though? Do you know what I think should be considered? Their religion, their faith. I don't think it's in their faith for it to be unfriendly
or to be jealous of someone
or jealous of each other.
Yeah.
That's I'm not a Muslim, but that what I know of that religion, it's not something that is...
Or any religion, but Muslim people are usually a bit more faithful. Yeah.
So, and the way they are with their faith, I don't think it's unfriendly. And I personally, I feel it's competition, and I think any competition is healthy. And if it's going to drive the team forward and bring the goals 21-20 in the league, I'm all for it.
I would say that we were first. This podcast was first because it's only now. I think it was the Fulham away. Carragher, he was like the third commentator. Like I think Neville was and then Carragher came in and goes, "Oh, you might be a bit annoyed there because he didn't pass." And then when they done the interview after the Huddersfield game, Kelly Cates, I think now, not Douglas, and Cara and Neville. Neville started laughing. She goes, what was it, Gary? He goes, and I was talking about Salah. He goes, you might be a bit annoyed if he's doing that when you're not winning. Do you know what I mean? It's a talking point. We're not. It's not a lynch mob. Do you know what I mean? Like this is public football knowledge. Do you know what I mean?
But just to finish off on the Huddersfield game again, another routine win, 5-0. We were all there hoping the goal difference would get to 8. We get to 8 because the goal difference behind Man City, but 5 was good enough. So after that game, we went back to the top of the league. Man City today had Burnley. Wait, do you know what? Let me go back a bit, because after the Champions League game, Man City had Tottenham. Tottenham let us down. Let's just have it right. Tottenham let us down. After doing so well in the Champions League, they let us down. So that was a point where we thought they might drop points and they didn't. So then obviously today, we're top of the league after beating Huddersfield. We're looking at Burnley, just hoping Burnley can do something. Burnley, to their credit, did really well for 70 odd minutes. Then Man City, one of the luckiest goals they'll score all season. I mean, how he didn't clear it off the line. The backspin on it has brought it back across the line. The reason why I'm mentioning all this, with 2 games to go, is there still hope that we can win this title?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I've not lost hope at all until the final whistle goes in the last game of the season. I mean, what will be, will be. I've after the United game, when there was so much excitement, like, it's going to be happening to the derby, I spoke to you and I was like, brother, it's not this game. You know what I mean? It's not going to be this game. It's not going to be so obvious that they're going to drop points in the derby against Man United. Man United are going to hand us the title, as the press has been saying. It's never going to be that. Of course, there's going to be hope. There's going to be a twist.
Man United are dead, by the way.
Oh, they're
dead.
Fucking awful.
Shout out the quality keeper, David Decarius.
Sorry. He's making Karius look hot right
Man
now.
United
I've had too much people on my case about him. But
Do you know what? Yeah, shouts out to my pal Alex, who's also in the Anfield South WhatsApp group. He sent me a video clip of one of the guys from Redmen TV having a face-to-face with a Man United fan a few years ago, and the Redman TV, he said, you guys don't realise how much it's actually going to take for you to get back on your perch. Yeah, you think you're just going to fall off and come back. It's going to take you years to recover. And the Man United fan wasn't having none of it. And they're seeing it now because this
is their time for pain.
This is their pain.
I hope at least another 2 years.
I hope they don't win anything until we've won at least 3 Premier League titles.
United and Arsenal, I want them out of the top 4.
I couldn't give a tass about Arsenal. Arsenal were just comical viewing, do you know what I mean? But Man United, I hope they suffer the pain we suffered just for all the stick that we've had to take from them. I hope they suffer the pain we suffered. But listen, anyway, we do digress. We do digress. Do we think this title race, we can still win this title after
100%.
The result today?
100%. I've gone past that point of feeling like, it's not going to happen this year. It's not going to be, it's not our year, all that kind of stuff. What will be, will be. We have to kind of come to terms with the fact that it may not be, but I think it will be. Yeah, and it's going to go to the last game. It's going to go to the last minute. We just have to strap in.
Let me hold on to that, to what you just said. Newcastle first.
Do you know what? You've always said it, Wes. One game at a time.
It has to be. You're right. Because don't get me wrong, I would love to feel what everyone's feeling. But for me, everything's always been one game at a time. I mean, we love Rafa. Always have, always will. I don't put it past him doing some type of madness on that game come next Saturday. Because basically, we're going to be tired after the Barca game.
I don't subscribe to that tiredness business. I think
I would love that not to be happening. But the last thing we need is lack of concentration and stuff like that. People come with injuries. Let's just get through Barca first, deal with Newcastle. Then if we get through that, and God forbid, Brendan Rodgers actually helps us, then we can talk about last game of the season.
Fair enough.
Lee, what for you, man? Is
It's
this
possible.
title still on?
Yeah. I put it in our little group the other day. I was probably it was like 2 minutes and something rant. Of me going at it,
That voice note was hard, though. It was good, man.
But seriously, I haven't. Last time I was on the podcast, I was sat there. JR was sat here, and he was very much. His confidence was very much just like, yeah, we're on it.
I think that's because we played Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's all right. But I was a bit. But then when I'm just looking at it, and I agree with something that Sam's touched on it. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. All we can do now is win our games. That's it. If they lose, you know what could be strange? They could brush aside Leicester, and it could be 0-0 against Brighton the whole game, just to say argument's sake, and then Brighton get a goal, and that's it.
Nothing.
Bang!
Yeah.
You just don't know. We don't know. We honestly don't know. One guy was telling me the other day he thought that he knew that Palace would beat Man City at home. I was like, come on, man, be real. Come on. You didn't think that.
Yeah,
Let's be
nobody
honest.
saw
But he
that,
said
yeah.
that's all right, cool, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, to answer your question, Slim, it's still possible. It's still possible. I've not sat down there. There's no team. Everyone's, even United, as much as the United fans have gone, some United fans tried to wind me up the other day and go, oh, yeah, we can't stand you to win the league. We play crap. No, you're actually crap at the
You're
moment.
dead.
That's
You're
what
dead.
it is. You played good. You played okay.
United
for
fans,
first
stay out of our
45
comments.
45.
You're dead.
For the first 45, and then after that, you fell off. Burnley today gave a great account for themselves. I believe Leicester will do the same, and depend on where Brighton are. Like,
Well, Leicester will laugh at Arsenal
think,
because Leicester spanked Arsenal today, didn't they? 3-0.
their away form was crap,
Alexa,
but that's
play Arsenal TV.
But fair enough.
There you go.
Fair enough. But do you know what? Do you see what in this title race? Do you know what has actually put me at ease, especially after the Man United? It was Klopp's pre-Huddersfield press conference where he said, I can't quote exactly what he said, but to paraphrase what he said basically, this is just the beginning. We're not where I want us to be, and we're doing so well so far. He said basically we're only halfway of where he wants to be. So this is the beginning. And what I don't usually watch Klopp's press conference because I feel like sometimes he just ties me in knots. But I watched this one, and it literally, my nerves were at a 10, and watching that, he brought me down to like a 2. Do you know what I'm saying? He's a man with a plan. He's focused. He knows where he wants to take us. He knows where he wants to be. And where we are right now isn't where he wants to be. This isn't the top for us. I think my fear with our challenge this year was this is going to be the top for us, and then we're going to fall off again. Watching that press conference and hearing what he's saying, he's taken us places, and this is only just the beginning, and things are only going to get better. So it put me at ease.
Do you know what? I think it was after the game. He was talking to Kelly and I think it was Gary, and he said something.
What we know there, the Bridgens, Kelly and Gary. Yeah,
that's how we roll.
Come on. Yeah.
And he said something like, "This is our first title challenge." And I thought to myself, "Raj, you know what? This isn't Brendan Rodgers Liverpool when we had a sort of
Freak.
a freak. It was a freak challenge. It was wild. It was chaotic. It wasn't actually genuine. It was almost a fraud of a challenge.
It was a fluke.
It was a fluke of a challenge. Whereas this, we've built a stable foundation, and we've got a team and a squad that potentially can grow and get better. We're not at our peak. You know what I mean? And whereas we've been lucky with injuries and so on, and we've had a great season, we can be better. You know, so I'm not.
I like that, Paul. Touch that wood.
Yeah, touch wood. I mean, it just feels like this is the start. And so therefore, if it isn't this season, I'm not going to cry my eyes out over it. I'm going to feel like, right, next season, we can actually say, oh, do you know what? We're going to challenge the season and not be like, oh, it's our year again.
Yeah.
It won't be like that because we've seen what this team can bring and seen that we're actually going to move forward as a club. Yeah, and probably challenge on more than one front. You got to remember, bruv, we're in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and one point behind beat us by 25 points last season.
Well,
how much of a growth is that?
Well, let's talk about Klopp. As soon as we're on stats, let's talk about Klopp stats. Like, this is our best points tally in the league ever. Yeah, I mean, what are we on at the moment? Is
91?
it 91 at the moment? 91 at the moment. We have the best defence. We have the best home record. I mean, we haven't lost at home since
2 years in the league.
Yeah, 2 years in the league. the most assists from fullbacks in our team. I mean, these boys just need to start a delivery service because they're better than FedEx
like
and
23
UPS, mate.
between
It's
them.
just absolutely crazy. And we are most goals scored from set pieces as well.
I'm still baffled by that.
That is
It is
a
what it
transformation and a half from Klopp. I think one of you said it. I think you said it, Paul. Klopp is like the best attacking coach in the world, and he has these patterns of play.
Yeah.
He's like an American football coach where he has a book of plays, and we just roll them out during games at certain times.
And
Go on.
and he improves players, doesn't he? I mean, he hasn't lost a knockout game in European football since he's been.
He hasn't lost a two-legged tie, has he?
Two-legged tie.
Yeah.
Your Dejan Lovrens, to an extent, James Milner, definitely Henderson, Ronaldo, Firmino. You know, when we bought him, I wasn't sure if he was a striker or, you know, like maybe come off the left. And Mane and Salah, whether they had that world-class talent in them anyway, they've got it now. And the main thing is, I'm really like the psychology of football. And I don't know, even just watching his interviews and stuff, and then like my wife and my kids are like, all right, calm down, like, you know, I'm going, oh, Klopp. but it's true, because some fans think he gets a blight because he's a nice guy. Well, he is a nice guy. He's got this fine line between football's obviously not the most important thing in the world to him. I think he's a big Christian as well. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it is. So that's the perfect blend to make people run through brick walls for you. They improve themselves and they run through brick walls.
I said it after the Huddersfield game. I love Klopp.
Yeah.
I want to work for him. I'll give me a job.
Yeah.
I'll do any job he wants, because that you said, he's a genuinely nice character. I mean, I don't know if any of you caught it, but the little thing he did with Soccer AM, where he answered the Google questions. I went through the comments on that YouTube post, and there was fans from Everton, United, saying, do you know what, I'm a United fan, but Klopp's a great guy. Klopp's a great guy. Klopp's a great guy.
Slim, mate. Watch any interview when he turns up, especially the sort of like the ones where it's like on the pitch where they're already talking. Any interview, in Neville, Carragher, when he walks up, they look up and their eyes shine,
huge, he's
and
like
they start smiling.
He's like 7 foot tall, Klopp, man. He's like huge,
but
isn't he?
everyone just starts smiling. You can see them, but then they can't stop smiling. After when they got the mic, but that's just like a genuine person. The cliche of he lights up the room when he comes.
Yeah.
We're lucky, man. And then big shout out to Chris, Mr. Hills, because he's been backing him when our darkest days, and you know, and even like, and the owners as well.
So this really begs the question then, really. If we don't win anything this season, is Klopp still the man for the job?
Yes.
Yeah, come
easily.
on.
Yes.
Only rival fans are going to try it with us. You know what I mean?
All day.
100. Leo said that with conviction,
The
boy.
thing is, I don't know what Paul was just saying about, like, I've had conversations with you on the phone, because I remember before some people were hitting the red button in our group before for him to go. Like, I was like, what is wrong here? Like, I didn't want to get too involved at the time. Like, I didn't want to. I was thinking, you're crazy. Like, Liverpool is a big job. It's a big job, and when I say it's a big job, it's just like for United right now. Ole Gunnar, that is a massive job. Like, it's huge. The way they've been left, the way we were left.
The job's bigger than Ollie, though. Fuck that shit.
It is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we were left, and there's a big job. He's come in. He started off, and you could see straight away what he was trying to do. But then we weren't the right team. But what he's done, he's gone a whole season and gone, right, okay, you're not for me. You're not for me. And he knows what. I actually, to this day, don't reckon that Firmino buy was actually one of Rodgers. I actually believe that somewhere along the line, they knew what they were doing in getting him. Because he come from Germany. Where was he at? Was he Hoffenheim? Yeah. I just don't think that move. I just don't even think that he was on.
Smells of Klopp, yeah.
It smells of Klopp. He weren't on Rodgers' radar, man. No chance. If they can show me some paperwork here that says he had that, then I'll think. But I don't think he had that there. And then going back to what I was saying to these guys in the car, I think I said it to you as well on the phone. Incredible from us to be in the position we're in now, Champions League semi-final, and where we are in the league. That we're all right, cool. I want us to push, but if we was to hit that red button now and we kind of flopped, We're already in Champions League next season, so we haven't got that worry where we were last season. It was the last game of the season. We had to get a result in that to finish above Arsenal, a point ahead of them. It was like, and to think, Arsenal were crap then. No disrespect to them, but they were rubbish then.
Pierre disrespected them.
No disrespect.
We just finished ahead of them. Like just stumbling over the line. This time it's not no stumbling over the line.
Yeah.
We're coming through nice.
I mean, how many points in front of Tottenham are we? Like
Everything's
20,
20.
It's ridiculous. Like really and truly, I said this to you as well, Slim. Like every time we make this search for the title, guys, somehow, somewhere, the bar goes up here again. Oh no, Liverpool's coming. Let's put the bar up here.
Yeah.
It's a joke. This is 97 points potentially we could finish on and lose the league. Like how is that?
We've won 18 league
What the
titles.
hell?
We're one of the most successful teams.
It's
We're the
wild.
second most successful team in England, right? And domestically as well. And this is the most points we've ever had.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That is
It's
crazy.
mad, isn't
It shows the levels has just improved every year.
But they're not far. Like I've always said, I don't mean to cut you guys. I've always said with City, they've got a squad in that attacking. To us, we don't really have that kind of. We got midfielders.
Yeah,
but if we get hit how they've been hit at times, I think it would really hurt us. Remember, the Kevin De Bruyne has been in and out. But like for us, if we was to lose a Firmino for that long,
Can I
just
ask you two a
Firmino,
question quick?
of
How
course.
happy were you to see Ox come on the other day?
Big time.
And even Shaqiri.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. It was
What a
amazing.
look,
to
if
see.
Ox would have
More
scored.
Ox though.
Yeah,
Oh, he almost scored against
Yeah.
Huddersfield, didn't he? I was like, oh, that was so close.
Talking about squads, when they came off the bench, and my kids are always like, I don't know if it's because he's short, they think he's funny. Where's Shaqiri? Like, you know what I mean? Where's Shaqiri? He hasn't played for ages. Like, who would you drop for? Drop Addison. Like, yeah, there's all the Shaqiri in the team. Could you get 11 Shaqiris? But he came on, and when Ox came on, and it was just samba. They were so relaxed. They were interchanging. Shaqiri whipped it in with his right foot. He's the one who put the one for Mane. They hit the post.
Oh yeah.
He played the third assist for Robertson for Salah. It's options. I think Ox can come and do something in the Champions
Do you know
League.
what, though?
Digressing there.
Ox coming on lifted the whole team. Robertson even said it in his post-match interview. They were happy to see him back, and I think you can see the character Ox is. He's a character around the changing rooms. All the YouTube videos you watch of him doing the kit launch X, Y, and Z, you can see he's a character, and I think everyone was just so happy for him to see him back on the pitch. It actually lifted them. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I for one was happy to see him on the pitch.
And to segue back to Klopp, and we were praising him, what he done with Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Perfect.
I mean, I have to admit, I was never his
do you
biggest
remember
fan.
what he said after the game? Did you remember what he said after the game?
Why is everyone so happy? They ask, and he goes, because Oxlade-Chamberlain is just a really, really, really great guy. Even better than as a footballer. Imagine that.
Yeah,
and he's an amazing footballer.
Yeah. And
it was beautiful.
And what else did he say about rushing players back from injury and stuff like that?
He talked about De Bruyne. And even the way he done that with so much respect and
So much
admiration
class.
of Kevin De Bruyne. And like, we want to see him on the pitch sort of thing. And was using him as an example for what was happening with Oxlade-Chamberlain, who apparently he's been injured in training a couple of times.
I think the way Klopp feeds players back into teams, squads, is amazing. And, you know, I can't give it just to Klopp because he's got staff around him. So Klopp and co, let's call them. The way we do that is excellent. I mean, we could have rushed Ox back sooner, a bit like what he said about Kevin De Bruyne, but they've waited and waited for the perfect time, and now's that perfect time. And
now players look fit at the moment. Mane looks like a racehorse. Like he just like Salah strong again, holding people off like he couldn't. He was thinking about his shoulder. Everything. Like again, the owners, like. We just look clean and professional when we're winning and everything.
Shit, man, like the club is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Can we just give us the title? Can we just
Can we just have it?
like this is now?
I think Pep Guardiola knows that he's done it. If he wins it by the skin of his teeth, and I think him and himself in a few of his press conference have been full of praise for us. I mean, he said the other day that both clubs deserve to win it. So I think he realises that, excuse me, I can be burping on the mic. Someone put lemonade in my drink. I think he realises how good we are, and I think a lot of opposition fans are starting to realise that we're an old school club. We're run the right way. We haven't bought our way to the top. We've built the way to the top, and I think you've just got to, whether you outwardly hate Liverpool, inside you've got to love us.
I've been talking a lot for the last couple of minutes, right? But I just got to say this one thing. Just when you said about fans. And I went on to TalkSport, spoke to your homies there on the sports bar, and I said a phrase I like to say, I like to bring football phrases in, and I said they were like, why would we want Liverpool to win? And I said something like that, and they tried to kill me. I went, look inside your footballing heart. I just got wrecked. Your footballing heart, like, can I borrow a feeling, sort of thing. But I didn't mean it, because I was thinking, what fan would want us to have a Celtic or Juve dynasty here? Because if other clubs get trampled upon, or we don't win this title, that could happen.
Yeah.
We're hoping we're looking like we're going to challenge.
Come.
We don't know what will happen. Yeah,
we don't want our league to turn into those leagues.
All this bullshit about hashtag don't want Liverpool to win.
Anyone but Liverpool.
Obviously, okay. There's a few of us, maybe me sometimes. I've always like barked about history. Usually just defending myself when I'm getting gunned. Right? And we have won 5 European Cups. You know what I mean? However, you don't want. Why would you want petrodollars to do it? I mean, they're a beautiful team to watch, and Pep's playing the right way, which is fair enough. Do you know what I mean? He's the new breed, but they've spent a lot of money. They spent.
But you know, to be fair to Pep, he has developed players. He has brought players on. He has developed their game. So, despite. It's all well and good having the money to buy whoever you like, but you still have to get them to play, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
They still have good quality there to do so. It helps.
They only had their team against United was only £30 million more, 450 versus 420, I think it was.
Yeah, but then you got to look at things like flipping players like Lukaku, 75 mil.
Money doesn't necessarily equate.
But that's what it is. He's just saying that it's only different. But if you got Lukaku's big money
and Pogba 90.
Well, it's nearly that time, but before we wrap this up, I just want to talk about Virgil Van Dijk, Player of the Year award. Let's just wax lyrical, eulogize. Well, eulogize? Not really the right word, is it?
Not yet.
It's not yet.
Definitely not, please.
God, no. Please. Touch that heart. Sorry. It's been a long day, people, man. It's been a long day. Forgive me. But yeah, let's just talk about Virgil Van Dijk, man. How good is he? How good has he been?
See our defence where there's no panic, calm leadership. He knows what he's doing. Everyone's listening to him. No, I'm sorry, because I'm still thinking to previous years of Lovren being getting double teamed and everything.
Did you notice how Lovren done a madness against Huddlesfield, and he almost gave away a goal?
Yep.
He's got that same panic look on his face. Yeah. I don't think Virgil can even save him. No. I think he put a challenge in against the Huddersfield striker, and they flipped it across the 6-yard box.
Do you know what?
They almost scored outside Lovren.
Can I just defend Lovren a little bit? Because I feel like when Lovren plays, he always gets the tough, physical, push you about striker.
Why is that? Because they lean against him.
I suppose they do, but you know what? I feel for him. But you know what? I gained a newfound respect for Lovren when Klopp said that Lovren speaks about 4 or 5 different languages, and he speaks to different players in different languages. So I got a new respect for Lovren, and I feel like while he does have that panic look about him sometimes, he still gives 110%, and he still puts it in.
But if we win it, he deserves his medal. Don't get me wrong, but he scares me still, man.
But it's not about Lovren. We're talking about. Let's talk about. Let's stay on Virgil.
That went quick.
I can't say. You know what? After the whole transfer issue, then the statement about we ain't getting him and all us went in meltdown that time, we rectified it. We got him. For me, probably the best signing. Well, the best signing we've done over the last couple of years, easily.
I've got one other player that I think for us is our best, but that's a whole nother ballgame.
Who do you think was better signing than Virgil?
No. This is not. If you want to go
for
in
our squad
this season, Well, you want to go in the current squad.
Current squad, yeah.
Is Mane.
Mane
Actually got us back on the map. The goals that he scored for us in that season, the breakthrough season when he come through for us, that actually helped propel to get us into
the Champions League.
Yeah, 100%.
Fair enough. I can respect that. And Mane was on the shortlist for the PFA award?
PFA was,
he was on the shortlist for the PFA, so he deserved the accolade as well. But obviously Virgil won it. But Virgil fully deserved. Fully deserved. I think.
Boss.
It's quite funny for me for a player in his position to come and change a team. Do you know what I mean? He's defender, and he's but usually it's an attacking player who comes and changes your team. Boosts you up with goals or assists or whatever. But for someone of a defender to come in and, like you say, he's calmed it down. He's in control. He's telling people where to be, what to do. He's organising everything. I think,
Well, it's always again everything at the moment is going back to Klopp, and going back to when, you know, we were like, there was only a few of us, not even me. I mean, kind of, but worrying about Klopp. Not because we knew he tactically was good and, like, you know, he can improve players, but sort of weird decisions. And everyone must remember when we didn't get Van Dijk the first time, and we already knew Lovren was a bit like a calamity guy sometimes. He didn't buy another player. Do you know what I mean? And we had that Tottenham game, we had struggles. But I was listening to the radio the other day, and I can't remember what player they were talking about, what team, but they said he stuck to his plan and he didn't go. I think it might be about Klopp or something, because he didn't go to plan B, C, and D. And I have to admit, I was like, go and buy fucking plan F. Yeah. It's got to be better than Lovren, who's plan Z.
A lot of people thought that once we didn't get Van Dijk, we should have gone somewhere else.
And it kind of was proven sometimes, because we were letting in crazy goals. You know what I mean? But he waited. He gave him that confidence that you're my man. And when I went on TalkSport with Darren Lewis, I said it then and I got laughed at, but I meant it at that time because I think it can be fluid. I was like, at this moment, as we speak, Van Dijk is the best player in the world. I think it was like December or something.
You did say that, didn't you? People did.
Because why can't we have a defender who's the best player in the world?
You did say that, and you did say that at the time. You said he's the best player in the world at this moment in time, and you did get a little bit of stick for that. You did,
because defenders are not usually got that props. Was it Cannavaro after he won the World Cup got it? But people must remember.
Are you now? Does that mean I have to look at you as a football visionary? Is that what?
Nah, just a football intellectual god.
Yeah.
No, but in the early 70s, we had Johan Cruyff won the European Cup 3 times in a row. But after that, it was Beckenbauer. He won it 3 times in a row. He was a sweeper.
Question, Sam. We did mention it earlier. Warren did a shout out to Matip earlier. Matip's, I wouldn't say resurgence, but Matip's newfound confidence. Do you think that's down to Virgil? His confidence, that because let's have it right. Matip is great bringing the ball out and taking on a few players. Does he now have that confidence thanks to Virgil?
I wouldn't say it's solely down to Virgil, but Virgil clearly improves everyone around him. I think that confidence he had when he got back into the team and he found his form straight away, which was really important. Him being next to Virgil means you get the byproduct of a lot of clean sheets, and there isn't as much defending to do. Also, with his runs, he's doing that in the knowledge that Virgil's got his back. You know, and it's only really the last couple of games we've seen Virgil actually carrying the ball forward. So maybe the trust is being reciprocated, and you're thinking, hold on.
What was it, the Huddersfield game where Virgil went forward? Was it Huddersfield game? He went forward. He plays out to Robertson, and then Robertson crossed it in.
I was saying to my son, I wish Virgil would carry the ball forward a little bit more. And I thought it was because he was the designated last man and that was more Matip's role. But seeing him do that, I'm thinking to myself, well, hold on, he trusts Matip.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was Huddersfield, don't get me wrong, but I love that. And his resurgence, if you want to call it that, is brilliant for us because it means, again, we didn't have to rush Gomez back. We can drip feed him back into the team. And we actually look stable as a back four with Matip there. So I don't know where it was said that he's getting a new contract, but give him a couple more years, man. I think entering the season as a 4th choice centre back, and ending it as a 1st choice in the best defence in Europe. Yeah, you've got to say props to Matip, man. That's
a bit like what Lee and Sam were saying about how they felt we were just reining it in a bit. Do you know what I mean? And now we're basically a fantastic football team. Now we can, not to say liberties, but express ourselves a bit more. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because Van Dijk took the mantle up against Huddersfield because Matip weren't playing. Matip's the one. Gomez makes a lot of runs as well forward.
Just quickly, I mean, his first game for us, FA Cup against Everton, he was showing that leadership from day dot. Yeah. We had Karras in goal. Anyway, he was still. The thing is, at that point there, he was saying stuff to him like, "Mate, you've got to come for that. Yeah. That's you. That area there is you." And he's telling this one that and this that. And from that moment, I was like, "Yes, finally, we've got a guy here who's gonna do this." And I feel all right now because when he was talking about Lovren, all I can hear is in my head. I'm like, no. And everyone used to laugh at us with all the drama that used to go on, but it don't happen now. So yeah,
Lee, you know, like how we were all. I think I said it a couple of times, but I wasn't never really on it. But I thought it was a fair comment. A lot of guys were saying Van Dijk should be captain. Just give it to the best player. Like Gerrard took it off Hippier. Let's just do it. But maybe Klopp thought, you know what? Henderson's proven himself anyway, but Van Dijk doesn't need that armband.
That's what I said.
Natural.
He
Fair
does
play.
not. I said it. The armband for me these days doesn't mean what it used to mean. Yeah, Gerrard, Lampard, Terry era. That era, I think the armband died after them. For me, the armband is just the guy who goes up, does the toss, takes a picture with the flag or whatever at the Champions League and hands it over. That means it doesn't, just because you don't have the armband on you, if you're the guy that's at the back, there, come back in, line, hold. You're the captain. There needs to be 11 captains on the pitch. Definitely. Yeah, everyone has to be a captain. If you can see something, you call it. And I don't think Virgil needs an armband to prove that he's a leader of the team. He's a leader of the team.
The other day,
He asked you a question. You're talking about the armband. Do you think because of that, Henderson has been unfairly judged in his time at Liverpool?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he wore that armband after who he wore it after. He has been unfairly judged. He has been. He's had a lot to deal with. Everyone expected more from him because he took it off of Gerrard. Well, he didn't take it. He was giving it after Gerrard. But he's not Steven Gerrard.
And at that time, he had scored about 2 or 3 goals from the edge of the box, and I think maybe people were thinking he could
But then
start
you got
doing
to think
that a lot
about it.
as
He
well.
scored those goals. Then he got dropped back into a 6th position. His role changed. He was more of a holder, and I think unfairly, we were still expecting goals from him and stuff like that. So his role changed. But yeah, definitely he has been judged harsher for that armband.
Well, I'm thankful for him coming back into form, man, and it seems like it's
He's
coming
been brilliant.
full circle.
Henderson, I think he's been brilliant. You're not a massive fan, are you?
Do you know what my thing is with Hendo? Like, if he doesn't have to think about something, he does it. Like,
But
I've always said that.
you'd be surprised. You think that, but Henderson, there was a point in the Huddlesfield game where he got the ball, he dropped back into a sort of a 6th position. He got the ball and he just moved it on quickly. He's always been that guy. He keeps it moving. He keeps the ball going. He keeps the play flowing. He doesn't. For me, he doesn't slow it down. He just keeps it going. The pass might be simple. The pass might be a simple pass, like 5 or 10 yards slightly to the left, but it keeps it going and it starts the attack. And I've always been a fan of Henderson.
What's impressed me with him lately is his drive. Do you know what I mean?
His determination.
Determination. Like, he's driving forward. He's raising the standards. And when he plays in the 6, which I never thought he was terrible there.
I just to jump in quickly. The reason why he was bad in the 6 is because he doesn't have that forward pass in that position. He didn't show that confidence to build from the 6th position, in my opinion, which is why people jumped on him.
He lacked with a ball that's thread up to say Firmino or that Fabinho will do simply.
Precisely,
but he did have a decent diagonal ball, I thought. Do you know what I mean? But he's on fire now.
He's on fire.
I think if listen, when the chips are down, I look for certain players to show character, He don't have that. But what he does have is when the team is playing really well, it doesn't actually surprise me that he's playing that well now. If you remember when we were in that fraud kind of, as Sam put it, fraudulent charge for the title, he was great in that side. Actually, when he was out of it, we missed him. But when the chips are down, I don't know.
What
man,
about the
not that
Southampton
guy for
game?
me, man.
That was his defining moment.
Yeah, but you see what, in that game, did you not
We
feel...
were fucked.
Southampton... What was the score in there? 3-1 in
Yeah,
there?
it was
1-1 at the time,
1-1.
It was 1-1, yeah.
So when he come on, all right, he give a bit of injection, yeah?
Him and Milner.
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But in fact, in that game, if I remember rightly, was Trent not having a little bit of a nightmare like in that game?
Yeah, he was. He came off for Milner.
So when he changed that, those two changes there, because he looked like two midfielders coming on, everyone's thinking, but I don't want to go back. But I just feel that when we're doing well,
he does well.
He does well,
and
like,
if we're not, he doesn't.
He does his thing, and that's my thing, innit? And I think if you're gonna be that guy that you get praised, you can't.
Well, do you know what? Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, but either way, just to bring it back round and just close it up quickly. Van Dijk,
yes,
best defender in the world at the moment.
Yeah,
I'll take that, no problem.
Easily.
Okay, boys, it is about that time. Guys out there, make sure you get us on Twitter. Follow us at South Anfield. Instagram, we're Anfield_South1. Yeah, getting those comments. Yeah, like, you know what I mean. Even on YouTube, find us on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Anfield South. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Yeah. We love it. We need you. Boys, it's time to go, man. I've been Slim, your host as always. We've had Sam with us today.
Yes, Pete. Thanks a lot.
Paul.
Yeah, peace.
Leroy.
Yes.
Iron Man, aka Wazza.
We'll be back soon.
Until the next time, people.
I think they should stick to playing football. Terrible. What do you think, Kenny? Oh, yeah.